Sometimes, the most devastating losses come from the most unexpected places. Not from family, not from Hollywood, but from the hearts of strangers who become something more. This weekend, Donnie Wahlberg and Jenny McCarthy shared statements that left fans around the world in tears. Words that revealed a bond so deep, so genuine, that it challenges everything we think we know about celebrity and fame. It hurts a lot, and it's going to hurt for a long time, Donnie wrote. But this wasn't about another Hollywood scandal or industry drama. This was about Kelly, a fan who became family. Picture this: a woman from Minnesota with gorgeous red hair and an infectious smile. A woman who lived life exactly the way we all say we want to live it, to the fullest. Following her heart wherever it led, Kelly wasn't just any fan. She was what Donnie calls a blockhead, a devoted follower of New Kids on the Block who had been part of his world for years. But somewhere along the way, something magical happened. The lines between fan and celebrity began to blur. Donnie got to know Kelly, really know her. Over the last few years, she transformed from just another face in the crowd to someone he called his blockhead sister and Donnie girl forever. Think about that for a moment. In an industry built on barriers and boundaries, where celebrities are taught to keep their distance, Donnie Wahlberg opened his heart to a fan from Minnesota. Kelly had a spirit that couldn't be contained. She would pack up and travel wherever her heart told her to go. Solo trips to Vegas, New Kids on the Block events, even beautiful landmarks across the country with her family. She truly lived life the way we all say we want to the fullest. Donnie reflected. She walked the talk. She did it simply because it is who she was. But Kelly wasn't traveling alone in life. She had a daughter named Keira, and she had Laura, someone Donnie described as one of the bravest people I have ever met. Over the last few days before Kelly's passing, Donnie got to know her family. He saw the love that surrounded her, the strength that defined her closest relationships, and then, without warning, she was gone. The details of how Kelly passed away remain private, but the impact of her loss is devastatingly public. Jenny McCarthy, who had only recently met Kelly, was equally shattered. In her own tribute, she wrote about finally meeting the wonderful Minnesota girl that Donnie kept raving to me about, only to find that you were even more wonderful than he described, Jenny shared. I am completely devastated, knowing that I will not get to know you more. This is where the story becomes truly heartbreaking. Jenny felt like she had just discovered a new friendship, someone who could have become a lasting part of their lives. But sometimes, life doesn't give us the luxury of time. Donnie's tribute revealed the depth of his struggle to understand Kelly's death. I can't understand, nor can I explain, why God moves the way God moves, he wrote. I don't know what his plan was the day Kelly left us. These aren't the polished words of a PR statement. This is raw grief from someone trying to make sense of an impossible loss. Picture Donnie sitting at his computer, typing through tears, trying to find the right words to honor someone who meant so much more than the world would ever understand. Kelly had a special connection with Donnie that went beyond typical fan encounters. When he would see her, he would yell, "Minnesota." Their inside joke, their way of acknowledging each other across crowded venues. Now he's promising that when he sees her again, he'll yell, "Minnesota." One more time, but it's the promise Donnie and Jenny made that truly shows their character. They vowed to look in on your beautiful Keira, Kelly's daughter, in their darkest moment of grief. They're thinking about a young woman who just lost her mother. They're extending their family circle to include someone they barely know, simply because Kelly mattered to them. This story forces us to confront something uncomfortable about how we view celebrity relationships. We assume they're all surface level, all transactional, all fake. But Kelly's death reveals something different, something that challenges our cynicism about fame and fortune. Donnie Wahlberg, a man who could have anything in the world, was genuinely inspired by a fan from Minnesota. Someone who chose to live authentically. Someone who kept showing up, not just to his concerts, but to life itself. It's something that so many blockheads, like Kelly, have in common. Donnie wrote, "It's something that is not lost on me, and it inspires me every single day." Here's a multimillionaire celebrity saying that his fans inspire him daily. Not the other way around. Kelly represented something pure in a world that often feels calculated and cold. She traveled not for Instagram photos or social media clout, but because her spirit moved her to explore. She connected not to gain something, but to give something. And when someone like that disappears from the world, the absence is felt by everyone who is lucky enough to know them. Donnie's words reveal the complexity of grief. When it involves someone the public doesn't understand. Yet, it also makes it all the more painful knowing that she was showing up again, and now she's gone. It's very difficult to process. Kelly was living her life fully right until the end. She was still traveling, still following her heart, still showing up, and then she wasn't. Jenny's tribute captures the cruel timing of it all. She had just discovered this wonderful person, just began what felt like a genuine friendship. But life cut their story short before it could truly begin. "I truly felt like I met a friend when I met you," Jenny wrote. Those words carry the weight of missed opportunities and conversations that tase. Then will never happen. But perhaps the most powerful part of this story isn't the grief itself. It's what Donnie and Jenny chose to do with their pain. They could have grieved privately. They could have sent flowers and moved on. Instead, they opened their hearts to the world and shared what Kelly meant to them. They elevated a fan from Minnesota to the same level as family. They used their platforms to celebrate someone who would otherwise be forgotten by history. In doing so, they reminded us that connection transcends status, that genuine relationships can form in the most unlikely circumstances, that sometimes the people who touch our lives the deepest are the ones we never expected to meet. Donnie believes Kelly is now on the greatest road trip of them all, traveling with God, following her heart just like she always did, but in a place where the journey never ends. It's a beautiful image. Kelly, with her gorgeous red hair and infectious smile, exploring eternity with the same enthusiasm she brought to every earthly adventure. But down here, the people she left behind are still processing the impossible reality of her absence. She will be missed. She will be remembered. She will be celebrated, Donnie promised. And in sharing their story, he and Jenny have ensured those words become true. Kelly's legacy isn't just in the memories of her family and friends. It's in the example she set for living authentically, for following your heart, for showing up again and again. Even when it's difficult, she inspired a celebrity who has everything to keep pushing forward. Keep being present. Keep celebrating the magical relationships that make life worth living. And now, through Donnie and Jenny's words, she's inspiring all of us to do the same. Sometimes the most powerful stories aren't about the famous people we think we know. They're about the ordinary people who live extraordinary lives. People like Kelly, who prove that you don't need a spotlight to shine. You just need the courage to be yourself, the wisdom to follow your heart, and the grace to keep showing up no matter what, in a world that often feels disconnected and artificial. Kelly's story reminds us that genuine connection is still possible, that love transcends boundaries, that sometimes the most beautiful relationships bloom in the most unexpected places. Her light may be gone from this world, but the warmth she brought to others continues to glow. In Donnie's memories of yelling Minnesota, in Jenny's regret over conversations they'll never have, in the promise to watch over Keira as she navigates life without her mother, and in the example she set for all of us: live fully, love deeply, keep showing up, because tomorrow is not promised. life is precious. And the connections we make along the way are what give it meaning. Kelly understood this better than most. She lived it every single day. And now, even in death, she's teaching us the same lesson. The most heartbreaking part isn't that she's gone. It's that she showed us exactly how to live, and now we have to find the courage to follow her example. Rest in peace, Kelly from Minnesota. Your journey continues, and your lessons remain. If this story touched your heart, share it with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe for more stories that remind us what really matters. And remember, tomorrow isn't promised, so make today count.